What do you get when a soon-to-be married couple is given all the money they need for their dream wedding? But the groom has to plan the entire thing by himself, while the bride is kept in the dark about every...
I mean, it depends. Oh, man. I just breathed in soda. It really depends on the couple. A lot of times there's groomzillas who are just as fucking bad and nitpick everything. But then you get like, I don't know, fucking redneck weddings or something like that.
Thing until their actual wedding day. Spoiler alert, you get some of the worst weddings that have ever taken place. And this was the premise of the British reality TV show, Don't Tell the Bride. And we're gonna watch a full episode today, but I thought it'd be fun to do a quick run through of some of the worst weddings that have taken place on this show. One episode
Before we go further, there was a guy in, he was in Northern California, super fucking rich. He built a custom bridge in like a kind of a national park kind of area, basically a protected wildlife area, right? He was told multiple times that he couldn't do it. He did it anyway. He was fined like $200,000 a day for like 3 weeks. He just paid it. He just didn't give a fuck.
Featured a Beauty and the Beast themed wedding, which is already a pretty gnarly decision because I think you know how I feel about Disney weddings. But the groom absolutely went for it. He dressed like Beast.
It wasn't necessary in the slightest. He just wanted to build this like fairy tale looking bridge so they could get married on a bridge in the middle of like imagine being like in the forest area of like Big Sur in California, like all along the mountainside. I don't remember exactly where it was. I know it was in California, and it was in Northern California, but I can't remember exactly where. You can probably look it up. It's just guy builds bridge for wedding, crazy fine. You can probably just search that, and it'd probably find it. I don't remember what the final total of his fine was. There's easily could have been in the millions. But it was a civil offense, so it's not like he was going to be like thrown in prison for it. This is a multi-millionaire, so who gives a fuck?
Like with animal prosthetics and stuff. What are you wearing? And it's like, dude, Beast turns into like a regular hot guy at the end of the movie. Just dress up like that. What does that say about the groom, right? Well, it's the most important day of my life, so I might as well dress like a furry. There was another episode that featured a groom who really likes to play darts, so naturally he planned a darts-themed wedding. The bridesmaids wore dresses.
The one on the left is just like, this is a horrible idea. I feel scared. Everyone else is like, you're a piece of fucking shit. Generally, if you're going to get your wedding paid for, you want to have, you pick all of your wife's favorite things, not the other way around. Otherwise, this is going to end before it even starts.
With dartboards on them. It's probably not safe to do at a darts-themed wedding.
I do think the Chucky-themed wedding was really fucking funny. That was more of a recent one here.
Inside the reception, they had a bunch of dartboards, and they even got a professional darts player to officiate the wedding. And of course, that's what a professional darts player looks like, man. Why would you want a guy that looks like that officiating your wedding?
Do you know many people go to Vegas for the same fucking shit? And wake up not even realizing they're married and thinking it was fake, and then they find out like 2 years later when they try to actually get married that it was real. And then there's a lot more questions.
Before the husband and wife say bullseye do, if there's anybody in the audience who objects to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your peace. You object? No, it's your bling, sir. It's so bright. Where the hell do you even get all of it? Target.
Yeah.
Okay. Ow! So I think you guys get the gist of the show. Guys are super dumb and pretty much clueless when we're left to our own devices, and it's hilarious to watch. But my favorite part about this show is seeing like the husband's logic and how they arrive at the choices they make, and I found a great episode that demonstrates that pretty well. So without further ado, let's watch an episode of Don't Tell the Bride.
With just 3 weeks and £14,000 to throw the wedding of a lifetime.
So yeah, that piece of information...
£14,000 is not that much money. At least when it comes to like weddings, like, like converted was that close to like, not 15,000. That'd be closer to like $20,000, right? Give or take. I don't know the exact conversions rate. The problem with conversions right now is, since I've last checked, it's been shifting a lot over the last 2 years. But yeah, it's got to be somewhere between $15,000 and $20,000, probably a little higher. It's probably closer to 20. But that's not a lot of money for a wedding, like at all. Like renting those stupid fucking big tents and things are $8,000. Like my wedding was tiny, and it cost us like $12,000. And we wanted to elope. Our families would have been pissed. Like just the dinner alone, like the final, the dinner for it's been such a long time since the rehearsal dinner thing, right? That ended up being almost like $2,000. And everyone had their own alcohol drinks, like on their separate tabs. So, I mean, that's not a lot of money. Did I get done with the reality show? I wish that would have been way worth it. Because we were just going to take the money to put as a down payment on a house. Like my sister's wedding was like, she saved forever. I didn't save much money for it. Our wedding, we just wanted, stuff for our current house and the ability to kind of move easier to another state. My sister had been planning for fucking decades. Hers was like 80 grand. And even then, that's not exactly a ton of money for a wedding. There are weddings that easily hit millions of dollars, but like an average wedding's got to be like $35,000 right now for two people with, a dual income system, right? If you're two kids out of fucking college or not, or still in college or just like 18, you're doing your backyard wedding with $2,000. But but like an average like planned wedding is close to like 30 grand. And that's minimum.
Like almost excuses any of the insane decisions that the grooms make. Because, I don't know if you guys know this, but my wife and I actually had 2 weddings. And let me tell you, each of those weddings took way longer than 3 weeks to plan. And they cost much more than $14,000.
Yeah.
Or sorry, they use pounds. They use pounds in the UK. 14,000 pounds is $24,000. So yeah, it's not like...
Okay, so it's 20 grand. But yeah, it is... they cost way more money. Most weddings are also like 6 to 8 months. This is the whole show threw these guys in. Hey, how's it going? With yeah, we know you guys don't have any money, but you know what? We're going to give you this, but you also have to... Man, this is just a big fuck you.
A super low budget, I guess. It's not that bad, but still, like things add up when you plan a wedding. Trust me. You'll see going forward that even with the budget and time constraints, there is no excuse for the wedding that is put on by this groom. This episode follows 33-year-old Adam and 23-year-old Bianca.
Perfect pause point. Fucking terrified. He looks like he'd be a decent, normal guy, just right off the bat. To look based off of the well, actually, I don't know where they're sitting. Like if they're sitting in their own house, yeah, he's a big guy. But like if they were sitting in their own house, like the style doesn't look awful. Probably all planned by her. Now, this could also be like a studio.
And the episode starts with a little blurb about how they met.
When they met 18 months ago on a dating app.
When I first saw Adam, I was attracted instantly because he had like the rugby photo, the action shot.
She looked like she squatted, so she had a nice bum.
Sorry, I never cry, but sometimes you hear something so nice and you just can't help it.
Nice bum.
And this next part of their origin story is pretty wild because apparently Bianca...
No, it's not an expensive wedding. It was like, this is about a $20,000 wedding where the groom plans everything without any input from the wife. or the soon-to-be wife, or maybe the ex-wife. I don't know. I don't know if they make it that far.
Bianca was not planning on getting into a serious relationship whatsoever because she had a big trip planned in a few months.
I knew I was going away. My tickets were booked.
But when Bianca left for the trip, Adam really missed her, so he decided to join Bianca on her 9-month-long vacation.
We went from
All reaction requests are in between videos. So after this video, give me one link and then we'll look at it.
just being, casually dating to literally spending 9 months in each other's pockets.
Take notes, boys. That's a good dude right there. That's what you gotta do, man. If a girl says she's not looking for anything serious because she's going on a really long trip in a few months, that's an open invitation, brother. And at the end of their vacation, Adam decided to pop the question.
I came up with this idea of making a heart out of rose petals.
The fact that he set it up, that's something that I
Right?
wouldn't expect
Be a
Adam to be
horrible idea.
capable of.
Okay. That's definitely something every guy wants to hear from their fiance. Yeah, I never knew he was capable of setting things up. I asked him to set up the patio furniture one day. He got so scared he called the cops.
I mean, if it's made from like IKEA stuff and there's like no instructions at all with it, I can get that. At that point, you might as well just like glue it all together or like throw it into a mold and then like cast it. Just melt around it.
Well, he tried to, but he never really figured out how to set up his phone. And shortly after their engagement, they discovered that Bianca was pregnant.
18 months after first swiping right, the couple now have a new life together in South Wales.
So now we got a good understanding of the couple, and at this point of the episode, they asked Bianca what her ideal wedding would be if she could make all the decisions.
My ideal wedding would just be a glamorous, classical day. I don't want a theme or anything related to what we've done before. I want this to be a new chapter, a new experience. No jokey, gimmicky things, just very elegant.
Okay, so classy, elegant,
So just a general basic wedding. Just pick the favorite colors. Get a wedding planner, right? Now the problem with this stupid show is you have to plan it all yourself. But just all you need to do is call up all these places and be like, hey, I just want all the classic shit. All right, easy. You don't even have to be smart. You can just call this. You don't have to call up anyone crazy. Just call the nearest fucking wedding person at like the middle tier. You're looking at middle. Nothing that's super high end. Nothing that's super low end in this case. And just ask for middle of the ground stuff and go.
simple wedding, no theme, no jokey
So
gimmicks or
fucking easy.
anything, not referencing anything they've done in the past. Try to remember those when we hear Adam's ideas.
Fate has played a huge part in my life, so I'm going to let fate decide the major decisions of the wedding. I will come up with various options, and Bianca will unknowingly choose her own wedding.
Absolutely 10,000 IQ play right there. He's gonna make Bianca randomly choose what her wedding is going to be like.
Literally just picking one of them would have been a so much better idea. This is a guy that like played Fable. Way too much. Actually, we had someone come into GameStop when I worked there, and he was like, "Hey, I need a copy of Fable." I'm like, "What the fuck is Fable?" Yeah, it's like that RPG looking type game, Fable. I'm like, "The hell is that?" And my coworker's like, "He's talking about Fable." I'm like, "Oh right, that makes sense." And he's like, "No, it's not called Fable, damn it. I know what the hell it's called." I'm like, "Is this like some weird dumbass joke? Like, what was that not turtle game? It was there was a game way back where you like crossed the fucking street as a frog or something like that, and it became this whole stupid meme where you try to get like game like stores or was it? I know Frogger was a game, but there was like another. It was like Battletoads or something like that. Okay, maybe Battletoads was different, but I would get stupid fucking phone calls for people who would ask me for like games that don't exist, and I'm like, yeah, it's not a real game, and they're like, yeah, it is. I'm like, well, I don't have it here. They're like, can you search for it? No. They're like, you're gonna get fired. I'm like, I work at GameStop. We get promoted for calling you bitches. GameStop's one of those places that doesn't give a shit about any of their customers, or at least they didn't back in 2007 through maybe 2012 when I worked there.
With the use of sealed envelopes because
It gives me sort of a get out clause because ultimately if the day doesn't work out, then it's Bianca's fault.
No, it's your fault, you piece of shit. Yeah, there was a whole like fucking group of people who tried to like bring it back or something like that. And then I think they actually created like a Battletoad game after the fact or something like that. I don't remember all the details into it. All I remember is it was annoying as fuck. Just like the Burning Crusade release night. I hated that night.
nice, man. That's a good guy right there. Dude. Just totally absolves himself of any responsibility and puts all of it on her still. Even though he is doing everything, all of the pressure is still on her somehow. Good guy. So while Adam plans the wedding with his brother for the next 3 weeks, Bianca is sent away on a little...
Your brother didn't have any like... Your brother wasn't like, yeah, this is a bad idea, bro. This is an awful idea, bro. I have no idea how old this video is. Let's find out. This is 1 year old.
little family vacation that Adam isn't allowed to invite himself to this time. And as Bianca sadly drives away, Adam immediately starts to work out the details of the wedding. Or sorry, I think I said too many words. Adam immediately starts to work out.
Now, real quick though, I don't know how old the original video is. Like, he's doing a recap of the original series, but the original series could be like 2010. I don't know how old the original video is.
Imagine he just doesn't get anything ready for the next 3 weeks because he's just been working out the entire time. Bianca shows up at like an empty church.
I mean, that still might be better if you think about it. If you show up at an empty church, it could still be better than whatever his dumbass fucking plan might be. I mean, as long as you get the officiant there, you don't really need anyone else. You'd be like, we're just saving the $20,000. That's what we're doing. I wonder if that would even work. Like, what'd you do with the 20 grand? I put in a high interest savings bond. By the way, we can't remove it for 30 years. I wonder what the company would do. Like, do they just like give him a credit card or something like that? Okay, so it depends. If you have your own church, they may do it for free. Like if you go to your own church. My church rented out for $700 for the wedding, and it included like a bunch of stuff. But I was a carpet cleaner at the time, so I cleaned all the church pews for basically the same price. So technically, they got a better deal because I would have charged them like $1,500 normally. So they got a half off deal, and I got basically a free church for the weekend. But yeah, it depends on where you do. You can do a lot of free things too. So you can do like stuff at the park. Lots of people do weddings at the park, and that's like free. Jeez, 13 years of like destroying marriages. Fantastic.
3 weeks later, and he's at the fucking altar like,
Oh, how do I look? Spent 14,000 pounds on steroids. I hope that's chill.
okay, this is
It's kind of like the extreme home makeover edition stuff that bankrupted a ton of families in the U.S.
when we find out Adam's 2 ideas for the possible themes of their upcoming wedding. So already it's not looking good because Bianca clearly said she does not want any themes.
I don't want a theme.
And both of Adam's ideas are themed weddings.
Me and Bianca fell in love through travel, maybe getting married on a plane. And the other option...
Get married on a plane? Yeah, this is gonna turn out great. Like maybe like a little 2-seater plane, or not a 2-seater. It'd have to be like a small like 4 to 6-seater plane, or like a private jet. I could see that. Like if you do like a private jet with an officiant and maybe do it that way, and you're going to like Paris or something. Fine. I could see that being a legit thing if you don't give a shit about your family. But holy fuck.
Is obviously a big part of my life before Bianca came along. I was a prison officer. So we'll look at getting married in a prison. Get married in a prison.
Yeah, his 2 options are either getting married on a plane.
You know what? Let's do the plane. The plane's a way better. Well, okay. Now there's a difference though, like between like prisons and like supermax prisons in the U.S. and a lot of the prisons in Europe. Well, at least the UK specifically. Yeah, it does sound pretty metal. Like imagine like yeah. So so a lot of prisons in the UK, not all of them. Like obviously there's certain versions that are like way more hardcore. A lot of them are you kind of like check in and check out during the week and weekdays depending on the type of prison you were going to. So maybe it's a different type of prison. Oh yeah. Well, okay. This the Scandinavia. Who else is it? The Netherlands. Wait, basically that whole section up there, right? So that's Netherlands. I don't know enough about your countries, let alone my own states, so this is a problem. Anyway, a lot of the countries up there have nicer prisons than everywhere else. Yeah, so there's a lot more open prisons. There's technically a couple of them in the U.S., but they're not really the same. Like, you still have to, like, report to them for, 28 days out of the month or whatever like that, and you can kind of, like, spread it out over that. So those are more, like, supervised. Those are almost, but slightly better, I guess, than, the ankle monitors at your house kind of a thing. But then you got the supermax prisons in the U.S., and then you can go a step worse, and you're looking at the prisons in the Philippines, which, man, some of those are fucking crazy.
Or in a prison. I mean, fucking, what's the difference? Get me out of here, I'm innocent. So, to remind you, Adam is gonna have his brother present two options, like two sealed envelopes to Bianca for her to decide like major aspects of their wedding. But she doesn't know what she's picking really. So if it ends up bad, it's all Bianca's fault, quote unquote.
If the day doesn't work out, then it's Bianca's fault.
Because she chose.
The fact that he even said that out loud and thought this was a good idea, she made a fucking mistake agreeing to this. Unless they thought privately, they're like, you know what? Let's do this. Because you obviously are not like, it's not like you're just like kidnapped off the street necessarily. You're obviously told about this like a week in advance that you guys won, right? So they're like, okay, let's do this. If I'm a shit person at this, we'll just have a second wedding later. Yeah, well, no, okay, so the way reality shows work is they do specifically target unhinged people. That's pretty normal. Because otherwise, they're not going to make their money back in ad revenue.
It, right? And it's like, not really. That's really not how that works, especially when both the options are bad. No matter what she picks, it's going to be a shit wedding. Also, like, as bad as the plane idea is, at least it, like, kind of makes sense. They love traveling. You travel on a plane. But getting married in a prison because Adam used to be a prison guard?
I mean, it makes sense if you can get the yard at the prison for free for a week. or a day. You only need a week. You just need it for a day.
That's fucking insane. Obviously, don't base your wedding off of a job you used to have. What the fuck? So right around here is where the wedding will take place. Looks perfect. Can I ask why you want to get married in the desert anyway? Well, I actually used to work out here, so it just felt right. Oh, okay, that makes sense. What'd you do for work? I used to disarm active minefields. Oh,
perfect.
Cool. Well, if you would just follow me this way. I never said I was good at my job. Okay, so Adam's brother heads over to Bianca so she can make her first decision. Prison or plane. She's obviously pretty nervous and confused, but she ends up picking the right envelope. Not the right envelope, because like both of them are wrong, I think, but she picks the envelope on the right.
I'm gonna go right.
And that means...
Yes. We're doing the plane, yeah?
So they're getting married on a plane. And
at least there's a little... I mean, it's still an awful idea. Well, okay, I guess there is one way you could do it. You could get a decommissioned plane, because there's a lot of hotels and like, you know, like retreat type things that have been made out of decommissioned like 747s in the woods. Now, I don't know if they have any over there. I know there's quite a few of them in the U.S. There's a house that someone built out of you know, the windmill turbines. You can use those turbines as really good like roofs, basically, that last for eternity.
At first, I thought this was gonna be like a regular plane with like strangers on it and shit, which would have been fucking insane. But like, I've seen crazier shit on airplanes, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. If I had to choose between seeing someone get married or seeing somebody like pick their toenails on a plane, I'm picking the wedding every time. But Adam at least has the decency to book out an entire airplane to fit all the wedding guests. I know Taylor Swift would be so proud of him. Just a joke. And you may be thinking, now this plane that Adam is renting, is it going anywhere? Is this plane whisking everybody away to a...
No, because that would cost way too much money. Do you know how much it would cost to rent out a private jet of that, or a jet of that size? No, he's renting it on the ground. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I bet you could, one of the bigger blimps that you could easily probably rent one of those. A blimp would have made sense. Some of the bigger blimps that are still around would be, or Zeppelin. I guess they could be. Are they the same thing? I mean, they're technically the same thing, right? They're the Goodyear ones around here, for instance. Literally anything. Hot air balloon actually would have. I've seen quite a few hot air balloon wedding type things in the area near me. So that would have made sense too. It would have still cost a fuck ton less because you only need the officiant, yourself, you know, your bride potentially, depending on if she hates you, and then you know, the hot air balloon guy, and that's all you need. And then you just land in a fucking park with everyone else.
A beautiful wedding destination? Is the plane taking people to the reception, at least? No. None of those. The plane actually isn't fucking going anywhere. Adam is spending £5,000 to put everybody in a plane that will take off into the air, fly around the airport for a bit so they can get married while they're in the air, and then it's gonna land back in the same airport. That's such a dumb idea. When a girl dreams about walking down the aisle...
I thought it was £5,000 to be on the tarmac, and I'm like, what the fuck? Well, I guess at least it's going in the air for a bit.
One day, I don't think they're picturing that type of aisle. And also, dude, Bianca was 8 months pregnant at the time of filming this. I don't know what it's like to be pregnant, but I can assume it's pretty...
I totally forgot she was pregnant. Oh, man. And I didn't know it was at 8 months. Holy shit, that's dangerous in a bunch of different ways. Oh, my God.
Be uncomfortable. And I think being on a plane, the most uncomfortable place, like in the world, is probably...
Yeah, I guess we have an issue with the camera again. So I don't know what we're going to do about this problem. I don't want us to have to switch back to a new camera. Because this camera costs a shit ton of money. This is starting to get annoying, though. All right. Yeah, for... I guess you could just fucking like I don't know if it's something to do with Streamlabs or if it's something to do with the Elgato face cam in the first place. So like I can deactivate and reactivate it, but it's still annoying. And it's interesting is it's just like totally just like turning off. So you guys don't need my face, right? That just makes it better. It keeps trying to default to the virtual cam for some reason. Okay, so it's back, but at least the other camera, even though it wasn't, so I would keep this one. I might just have to have both. I might keep this one for doing the the updated thumbnails because it's way better for that. And then I guess we'll switch back to the Logitech if the new cable doesn't work, which we'll know by tomorrow night probably. Then I guess I might have to switch back to the cheaper camera. And maybe I get a refund on this one. It's too bad because this one has a lot of really interesting features that I can eventually fix. All right, let's continue.
Be a bad combo for a pregnant person. And dude, the next part of this episode is like so hard to watch. Bianca and her mom take a tour of Bianca's like dream wedding venue, and before we go any further, yes, I know, I'll talk about it. I'm thinking the same thing. Holy shit, that hair is gnarly. Impressive, really. I want to know how many moms took a screenshot of this episode, printed it out, and immediately sprinted to their hairdresser because this is the ultimate Karen cut. Dude, if I was working a retail job and I saw her walk in, I am quitting on the spot. All jokes aside, though, as diagonal as her bangs are, she's actually the most level-headed person in this whole episode, I think. And this part is just so hard to watch because all Bianca wants is a nice classic wedding to celebrate their...
Yeah, how hard would it be to set this up? Seriously. Like, even if you're a complete fucking idiot, it would be so easy to set this up. And this right here would probably only cost $1,200 to maybe, well, okay, we'll say with all the stuff in it, because I assume this is like an actual location. If you pick the right day, you're looking at like $4,000 maybe. And that's assuming you're not using any of the other facilities, which it probably also has. You could probably do everything you ever wanted for 10 grand or less, including food. Well, maybe not including food now, but still. You don't even have to do anything crazy.
Love. You know, just no bells or whistles, super simple. And you'd assume that would be easy for Adam to pull off. Peace and love, he seems like a pretty simple guy. But while Bianca's looking at this wedding venue, Adam is on like a cramped airplane like, yeah, this will be good, bro. Perfect for a wedding. Yeah, maybe they'll even have a movie playing on the little telly screens.
Is being 17,000 feet in the air pregnant gonna make her happy?
Well, she hasn't got a choice. That's the situation I've left her in.
You do have a choice. Just cancel it, you fucking idiot. Your brother was like, yeah, maybe we should take a step back, bro. No, fuck that.
Such a shithead. Sorry, I'm being a little mean. Maybe he'll redeem himself with the wedding reception. Unfortunately, he wants the reception to be themed as well.
Adam wants to hold a Thai beach party reception.
Because they got engaged in Thailand. And although
Yeah, you know, you could spend, okay, ignoring the $20,000 price tag, you could spend even like $3,000 on food. It depends on, okay, so it really depends on how many people are at your wedding, right? So, and how much it costs per plate or per head, I guess. So that's where your big expense is going to be from food. If you have 200 people at your fucking wedding, let's hope these people only have 20. Or is you doing hot dogs on the tarmac?
the plane is a bad idea, maybe he'll pick a pretty venue for everybody to eat and dance away the memory of their terrible high-altitude wedding. Let's see what he picks. Who the fuck looks at this venue?
Abandoned prison. Yeah.
And thinks wedding reception. An actual ghost could look at this venue and be like, no thank you, this is way too scary. Like, this is where the final fight of a ninja movie takes place. This is where... This is warehouse. This old dirty warehouse with a leaky ceiling is the venue that Adam chooses for the reception. And he hires this guy to transform the building into Thailand.
So I want all my guests to be transported to Thailand.
It's also super funny that
Okay, he's got 15,000 left. You're not going to be able to pull that shit off with 15 grand. Silent Hill might look better for a wedding scenario. Oh my God, he could have easily done a beach wedding, and that would have been perfect for Thailand. You could fake that so easily. Maybe not with the overcast sky. Maybe you guys just fucking have a Thailandan wedding. Or Thailandan wedding. Maybe you just have a wedding in Thailand. You could have used the 20 grand to go there. There's probably some restrictions on the what you're allowed to do with this, but still, holy fuck.
That he says he wants all of his guests transported to Thailand after being on a vehicle that could literally transport them to Thailand.
We're not going to get a better space than this, are we, really?
I don't think so, mate.
So I'm going to shake your hand on it.
Guys, you must know better places exist, right? Feel bad for these guys. Okay, so they're now halfway through their £14,000 budget, but all they have is the plane ride and the reception venue. They still need to buy rings, dresses, suits, shoes, food, drinks, and a bunch of sand.
Okay, so you're buying all of your stuff for all of your bridesmaids and stuff. Okay, so that's a little bit different. I mean, so for our wedding, so my wife got the dress she wanted. I can't remember exactly how much it was. I think like $700 or something like that, right? Me and my best man went to Men's Warehouse and we bought suits for the wedding. They weren't tuxes, but they were really nice suits. And it was buy one, get one free. And then we split that. And yeah, it was like, the initial price was like $300 with, you know, all of the stuff, suits, pants, belts, shoes, etc. It was like $325. So it was also on sale. And then we got it split in half. And then they gave me an additional 10% off because it was a wedding. It was great.
And to be transported to the warehouse so it can look like Thailand.
We want to fill it with sand.
You know, the things that every wedding has. And, you know, as much as I'm making fun of these guys, budgeting...
My wife would have killed me if I would have showed up with a tux t-shirt. She would have been like, nope, I will wait here. You are going to a fucking suit. She would have told all the people and all my groomsmen, they're like, drag him over to the mall right now. We will fucking wait. In fact, everyone else, we're gonna go to the reception, and we'll do this other part later. She would definitely prefer the prison. Actually, she doesn't like flying. She would prefer the prison because that's on the ground.
It's pretty difficult, right? It's hard to do for a wedding. It's hard to do in our everyday lives, which is why I'm so excited to talk about the sponsor of this week's video, Rocket Money. That's right. This video is sponsored.
I actually do like Rocket Money, actually. Of all the sponsors, Rocket Money is one of the few I actually do like. It got my, they cut my internet bill down from, it was like $60 a month in fiber down to $19 a month. And what they do is they take half of the earnings as your, as their fee. So for instance, they saved me $40, so they take $20 for the year. And I save $20. And you don't even have to talk to them. They call on your behalf and bitch to them about it. It's awesome. So of all the sponsors, I would say Rocket Money. They also find a bunch of subscriptions that are you're just totally missing. I ended up probably deleting like 7 subscriptions with them. So yeah, I would actually have them as an actual legit
Sponsored by
sponsor.
Rocket Money. Folks, a little while back, I found out that I was being charged every month for a podcast hosting service that I stopped using like a year ago. And this has happened to me several times in the past where I sign up for something as like a free trial, and then the 30 days go by, they start charging me.
The worst free trial you can sign up for is the Adobe one. So Adobe anything. You get like 14 days on their free trial. They make it super annoying to cancel, but here's the worst part. If you miss that 14 days and you're like, okay, well, I need it for a month. Well, their month is like $150, right? And you cancel it, right? Or you attempt to cancel it. They will try to bill you for 1 year or half of 1 year. So for instance, if it's $1,500 or like $1,800 for a year, they will bill you $900 as a cancellation fee. And you are basically screwed unless you call them up and tell them you're going to be homeless or something.
I completely forget about it, and then by the time I remember it, it's too late. We've all been there. Well, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. And I'm using Rocket Money.
I don't use it for any of the managing money. If you need Rocket Money to help manage your money, you got other problems. It's good for lowering bills, though.
Money today. Just go to rocketmoney.com/Curtis or simply click the link in the description to get started today for free. You can also unlock even more features with premium. Again, that's rocketmoney.com/Curtis to get started today for free. You hear that? Choose whether she wants a cheap dress or an expensive dress.
Ideally, we want the least expensive.
And they say chivalry is dead.
I don't want too much booby, see?
I like this one with the cleavage.
But unfortunately, she chooses the cheap dress.
So the cheap choice it is then.
In this next part, Bianca goes dress shopping so we, the audience, can see what type of dress that she would choose if it was up to her. And this is when she voices her concern about Adam choosing the dress.
I'm a little bit worried because I'm 7 months pregnant now. Hopefully Adam thinks about that as well when he sort of...
You should be a lot more worried about anything other than the dress. You know, the dress is one thing, but the reception is another. I don't know if he's, you know, like maybe he's really good at his job. You know, he's just that kind of guy that's really good at the things he already knows how to do, but he's not very good at, like, you know, all the other stuff. But she would know this going into this, so I don't know.
thinks about his choices.
Honey, you got a big storm coming. But no, that's totally fair. Like I said, I don't know what it's like to be pregnant. I can't imagine what that would feel like to have like a fucking baby inside of you. That's weird. Not weird.
Especially one who might be a bit dumber than we might think.
Weird. It's a miracle of life. Being pregnant, that's probably the craziest, hardest thing a person can do. I'd like to think most husbands-to-be would consider that, obviously, if they had a pregnant wife. But we did just see Adam choose the birthplace of hepatitis for a wedding reception, so obviously he doesn't take that into consideration at all. Bianca chooses a beautiful designer dress, while Adam orders a 160-pound dress off
Temu?
The internet. The currency pounds, by the way, not like the dress doesn't weigh 160 pounds. Although that wouldn't fucking surprise me if he did that.
Oh, it's gonna be so bad.
Dress for women is probably the most important thing. It sort of determines how they feel on the day, but ultimately she picked that up.
Okay, let me see this site here.
The internet. The currency pounds, by the way, not like the dress doesn't weigh 160 pounds. Although that wouldn't fucking surprise me if he did that.
Yo, put it on, it'll be a good
I went back too far.
Dress for women is probably the most important thing. It sort of determines how they feel on the day, but
Are we 100% assuming that he got the size right? Amazon is still potentially better than where he may have gone. That doesn't look like an Amazon checkout system. I don't think this is Amazon, but Amazon might still be better because at least you get like free returns and stuff like that. At least easily. I don't know. This is a bad idea.
she picked that option for it to be the cheapest dress. So if she doesn't like it, then that was her fault.
Like, yo, no,
I like how he's blaming her.
it's not. What a fucking asshole, dude. That's so mean. She didn't pick it. She picked a random envelope that you showed. She didn't fucking know, dude. I can't imagine Bianca watching this episode back for the first time and not divorcing him immediately. His logic is just
Assuming
so
it
flawed.
makes it
You know,
hard.
like imagine on the plane, Bianca is like, why did you pick a plane to get married on? This is so dumb. I didn't want this either. You picked it, okay? We could have been getting married in a prison right now. It's like, dude, no matter what she picks, it's gonna suck because you suck. Sorry, I digress. Now it's time for Adam to show the bridesmaids the dresses that they'll be wearing.
I swear, this reminds me of Amy's Bakery from Kitchen Nightmares. Oh, no.
At the wedding. And for some reason, he picks 10-pound...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What a fucking idiot. What a fucking idiot. Are those rain ponchos? Oh no. Just fucking leave right now.
Neon, pink, and yellow.
Oh my God. It's so bad. trash bag.
Dresses. I don't know the reasoning behind that decision. I feel like maybe he watched an episode of Power Rangers and he was like, oh, okay, so pink and yellow are girl color. Got it. And I feel like for this whole episode, Adam's been kind of operating on like another planet. Every decision he's made has been objectively awful, but everyone around him is like, oh, yeah, all right, mate, that sounds pretty fucking chipper then, bruv. But this next part of the episode is when Adam...
Yeah, okay, so the biggest thing I have here is, why are none of his family and friends telling him this is shit? This is a terrible idea. Are they, like, not allowed to tell him? Are they being paid not to tell him? Or do they just really hate him a lot? I don't know. He does seem like a kind of a fucking asshole, so... I don't know.
Finally gets a dose of reality from the sand delivery guy, of all people. Yeah, I never had a sand delivery guy at my wedding, but... his presence was missed for sure. So the Sandman quotes them 2,500 pounds for the amount of sand that they'll need to completely cover the warehouse floor, which, by the way, is roughly 16 times more expensive than Bianca's wedding dress. But really, what's more important, ladies? A nice dress or 150 tons of sand? You can't make a wicked baller castle out of a nice dress, I'll tell you that. Ladies, say no to the dress. Yes.
I really hope the guy's like... Right, yeah. Well, okay, so you know what's funny? Here's the best part. So my mom's name is actually Karen. So now she goes to like Starbucks and things and just tells everyone her name is her name is Carrie, or literally just picks a random name out of a hat that isn't Karen. She's so mad at that. What's even funnier is she had the Karen haircut for a while. And then we told her about it. And she's like, damn it, they're ruining everything for me. Oh, man. But the sand guy's just like, dude, this is a terrible idea. What's wrong with you?
To the sand.
Power over spice is power over all.
But after the Sandman quotes them on that price, he goes on to warn them about the safety of the warehouse.
You've got rainwater coming in. There's going to be electrical wiring everywhere. You have, in my opinion, massive health and safety implications that you really need to take seriously.
So Adam moves on from that dingy warehouse because of the safety hazards. And this was the perfect thing to happen to them, because now this is a fresh start. They can pick a completely different venue that will suit their needs much better. And they do find a new venue. Goodbye, old dirty, stinky warehouse. Hello, new dirty, stinky warehouse.
Why warehouses? Why, of all things? Do you just live in an area where just there's only warehouses? Which, fine, okay, but, like, I fucking doubt it. Yeah, it does sound like he won't listen to anyone. Maybe he just wants to break up. Maybe he needs a way out, and this is a good way out. If you think about it, he's, doesn't want to be a dad. This would be the best way out. Get kicked out by your fiance. A murder den to crack up. Yeah, okay, the first one definitely looked like a murder den. I guess this would be a good place. This is probably a good place to probably make crack. It's got the ventilation, probably a bit better. I don't know. This reminds me of that horrible TV show. Has anyone ever seen Paradise PD? If you haven't, don't go watch it.
Yeah, man. He just finds a different dirty warehouse. Oh, that old warehouse was absolutely fucking filthy, mate. But this warehouse is dirty. Adam then heads to a department store, buys 2 wedding rings.
£69.
Hilarious. He then spends £500 on a suit, which is...
Okay, so you don't necessarily need to spend a ton of money on wedding rings. I bought, like, our weddings was not super expensive, so our wedding rings were like $400 each. But now I just replace them every, like, year and a half whenever she wants a new one. So if she ever wants, like, a really expensive one, yeah, we're just going to have to save a bit more for it. But now we just replace them every year. They weren't ring pops, at least.
Is wild, considering he only spent £160 on his wife's dress. He then tops it all off by spending £130 on plastic buckets.
Right.
I'm not 100% sure why he got the buckets. Ooh, maybe they'll be handed to the guests when they walk into the venue because they'll probably puke upon seeing where they are. It's pretty smart. This next part is pretty wild. This is when Bianca gets her first glimpse into what her wedding is.
Oh, great. I really hope it never even makes to that point. She's like, nope. Nope, we're breaking up. Nope, this is over. Fuck this. Our kid's being adopted.
Is going to look like. Before it was just her pointing at random envelopes. But now she has to face reality when her wedding dress is delivered to her house.
Are you joking me? I am literally gonna cry.
Alright, so things aren't looking too good right now. Who knows, right? Maybe when she finally sees the dress, she'll fall in love with it.
That box is so fucking tiny. Like, my wife's wedding dress box is like easily 4 foot. Like, it's one of those, we had it preserved or vacuum sealed or whatever after the fact. It is basically a 4 foot by 3 foot by 1 foot box that is like vacuum sealed and preserved. I think it costs like $400 to do that too. Oh my God, he's such a fucking idiot. Oh, yeah. You know, they need slightly bigger buckets to stick over their head.
The neckline's crap, the arms are crap, the length of it's crap, the material's
shocking.
rubbish.
Why play games with me now?
Okay, this is really sad to watch, obviously, but God, it's even sadder because, like, of what we...
Damn it froze again.
Like, I'm sorry about your dress, but you don't even know the half of it. You don't know anything about the dilapidated warehouse that's being filled with sand. It's about to get so much worse. And this is the challenge of the show, I guess. Weddings are inherently expensive, so if you spend a big chunk of your budget on one aspect of it, the other aspects are gonna suffer. So it's just a matter of knowing your partner and what they value the most. And I guess sometimes dudes don't know their partners that well at all. And it's just so frustrating because it's like, you could just get married in like a pretty part of a public park, right?
Yeah.
Not like Eminem there. I got married in a pretty part of a public park. But no, seriously, just fucking get married in a park for free.
I mean, at this point, a parking garage would have been better.
Rent out like a big cheap tent for the reception, and then spend the rest of the money on stuff that like matters, right? Like, why does there always have to be a fucking theme in these episodes? It's like you know, an Extreme Makeover Home Edition when they're showing the family the renovated house, and then
I'm glad I brought that up. Do you know how many people lost all their houses? Over 2/3 of the people who got their houses lost them because what happened was all their properties were reassessed for their current property values. That's exactly what you sign up for when you get this. So let's say your property value was, you know, billing you like $1,000, you know, a year or whatever, right? All of a sudden their properties are reassessed from, you know, the original value of the house, which is like $120,000, all the way up to like $1.5 million. Well, guess what? How much that's going to cost every fucking year? People could not afford it. Now, the smart people realized they couldn't afford it, and they sold the houses. The problem was they weren't allowed to sell the houses within a set amount of time, because of how the show wrote the contracts. Like, remember when Mr. Beast bought houses for $1 and gave them away to people? Well, there was something he actually did, as much as you may or may not like Mr. Beast, there was something he actually did, which I thought was pretty interesting, is he paid all the taxes for 2 years on those houses. But he also told people up front, you know, that's what this is, right? You're still going to have to cover the taxes once you get it. But he also didn't make any improvements to the houses. The houses were as is, and the people that were looking at those houses were in those price ranges. But, you know, he still covered the taxes for that year, right? Great. Nice bonus, right? Same for the cars. When he bought the car lot, he also covered a bunch of the shit for up to a year. Mr. Beast now is kind of annoying, but... But you know, as far as like people who try to do good while also kind of having a weird kind of shit internet personality, as far as like horrible people online go, you know, Mr. Beast is at the bottom tier of that list. There are some shit people out there on YouTube who just get all this money from all their fans and still waste it all on themselves, even when they're trying to give it away to people. So There are plenty of reasons to hate Mr. Beast, but there's plenty of reasons to like it.
When they get to the kids' room, they're like, "Hey, Braxton, we heard you like swimming. So we actually drilled all of your bedroom furniture to the bottom of your pool." This show is like that, but with wedding. But we're getting close to the end now, so let's get back to the episode.
Say, I was speaking to my dad the other day, and he said a line that just resonates through my head all the time now. "Listen, son, if she loves you, she'll forgive you."
With that face? Somebody clip that right here. Someone needs to send this to him like every day for the rest of his life. Holy shit, what an idiot.
Good attitude to have, brother. All right, guys, it's time. It is now the morning of the wedding day, and everybody is getting ready. Bridesmaids are wearing their neon dresses. Bianca's mom has got her neon hair. And
at least her hair makes sense. I mean, holy fuck.
I can only assume Bianca is going to have her neon Adam's neck when she sees it. The guests arrive at the airport, and they got high hopes for the wedding. Had to have high hopes for the wedding.
That's the only information we got told was a passport. We're hoping he's going to fly us to Spain.
Okay, super messed up to tell them to bring their passport, right? That is diabolical. A passport implies the act of leaving a country. They're not even leaving the same airspace, really. They're just flying above the Bristol airport. Why'd you tell them to bring their passport? That's fucking...
I mean, it might actually be required depending on if you cross certain areas of the water. So, it also just might be just... Okay, so passports in general are just the better ID to have worldwide, no matter what you're doing. So
me. Like, imagine if someone invites you to their birthday party and they're like, "I don't want to give anything away, but make sure you pack a bathing suit." And then when you get to their house, they're like, "All right, you're gonna help me nail my kid's furniture to the bottom of the pool. I saw it on TV. All right, guys, it's go."
I mean, I would still do that. I'd be like, okay, your kid sucks.
Time. Adam shows up to the airport in his finest sneakers, boards the plane, and waits for Bianca to arrive. Bianca enters through the back of the plane.
Adam and best man Alec are hiding up front.
I wouldn't really call that hiding. I don't think you can really hide anywhere on a plane.
I bet you she's like, okay, maybe we're going somewhere awesome. This would be amazing. Like, maybe we're going to another country to, you know, get a nice little small wedding, like in France or something. Actually, I don't know what country they're in right now.
All Bianca has to do is look to the front of the plane, which is, by the way, the usual direction people look when they're on a plane. Like, does she really not see him? God, I'm so excited to get married. And on a plane, too.
Are we seriously getting married on a plane?
That's so stupid. I hate planes. And I'm pregnant, too. Oh, yeah. This is so uncomfortable.
If our marriage happens on this plane today,
this will officially be the worst thing that has ever happened on any plane ever. Okay. Whatever.
I hope this entire thing ends with she's like, "This is exactly what I wanted. Everything's amazing." I'd be like, well, I guess he really knew her. We're all idiots. Somehow I don't think that's going to happen.
Over it. At least we know the baby will be safe. You know, they say flying is the safest way to travel. Welcome on board, everybody, to this very special flight on this gorgeous Boeing aircraft. I want a divorce! And this next part is fucking terrific. They reach their cruising altitude. And
did you get hit with an ad?
Then they call Bianca up to the front.
Would Bianca John please join us at the front of the aircraft?
Dude, and she still doesn't know that this is the wedding. She still thinks they're flying to a destination for the wedding. And like, the poor dad doesn't even get to walk her down the aisle. It's like, well, I mean, like, I don't know how he would have.
wait, I want to see his face. Maybe just go back. Do I want to go back that far? How far are we going? Oh, I went way. I hate how the new movement works for
Come on board, everybody, to this very... Okay. Dude, and she still doesn't know that this is the wedding. She still thinks they're flying to a destination for the wedding. And the poor dad doesn't even get to walk her down the...
Yeah, he looks fucking pissed. He's like, I hate this guy so much.
The aisle. It's like, well, I mean, like, I don't know how he would have in the first place because his airplane aisles are pretty small. I will warn you, a little cringe warning. The actual wedding on the plane is like really rough to watch, so strap in.
Let your marriage be a time of waking each morning and falling in love with each other all over again.
How are you?
That was the official, like, wedding then.
That was.
We haven't got vows.
Okay, a lot of people are really bad at vows, but you know, you can just go with the basic ones built in. They have basic ones. Fucking stupid idiot.
What are we doing now then?
What do you mean, what are we doing now then? You should know. You planned the wedding, man. What are we doing now then? What are we doing? Dude, no vows, nothing. The wife walked up to the front of a plane. A guy said a nice sentence, and then that was it. Like, what did Adam expect to happen? This is rough, dude, but we're almost done, okay? Bianca is understandably a little confused by the wedding ceremony, but Adam really thinks the whole day is gonna turn around when she sees the reception venue.
When you see the next sort of venue, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and amazed.
Just picture in your head what you think the reception is going to look like. Now, whatever you have in your head, make it 1,000,000 times worse, and that's...
Yeah. Shit. Well, at least this camera's working.
That's what it looks like.
Man, whoever picked this video. Wow. Yeah. The murder wedding. Oh my god. Is that a bounce house in the back corner there? I'm a little confused with what that is. It's like a blow up blue thing. $20,000. $20,000. Maybe if we got lucky, $22,000. I mean, it might be a part of Thailand you don't necessarily want to visit. Kyoto. Nah, that's only Doug's version of Kyoto. I'm sorry, that's Doug's Twitch chat.
Oh my god, dude. What the fuck? Dude. That looks like shit, my man. That looks like poop. Looks like the unknown is about to pop out.
It's the unknown.
Oh my god. Dude, I love the one tiny blue sky photo backdrop, and then the rest is just filthy brick walls, dude. And yeah, no cutlery or plates, nothing, just fucking buckets.
Babe, it's awful.
Wow.
Yep. He's gonna blame her. Holy shit. Oh my god, what a fucking idiot.
What they're like.
This wasn't the reaction I was expecting.
Adam is so dumb. I'm sorry, he's such an idiot. I can't imagine how many criminals this...
Maybe we should go play Abandoned Archive after this. This guy. This would be like a perfect Hey, how's it going? Yeah. Oh man.
Escaped under his watch when he was a prison guard. All they probably had to do was just ask Adam to be set free, and he'd be like, okay, no problem. What are we doing now then?
What are we doing now then?
And dude, I really feel bad for Bianca, because by the end of this whole day, she is a broken woman.
She's having a child with this guy in a month. Oh no. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for the follow. Abandoned wedding venue? Yeah, no shit. I actually would like to see Neuro react to the to the wedding venue. Just to see what kind of horrible shit she would say. Oh no, it'd be so brutal.
Has lost all hope and sanity.
Suits are tacky, the dress is tacky, the flowers are tacky, the shoes are tacky. At least you get to link.
Like, dude, this is her Joker origin story, dude.
Wanna know how I got this wedding ring?
So the episode ends with Bianca and Adam enjoying the rest of their night to the best of their ability, and then we can only assume they live happily ever after while they raise their baby boy together. So that was an episode of Don't Tell the Bride. This is an evil show, I think. Give dudes a small budget and a limited amount of time to plan like the most important day of their lives. That's bad news. And I'm not...
Do you think they got divorced? Oh, cool. Let us know.
Sympathizing or anything. I'm not trying to cut Adam any slack here. But, like, this is a dastardly television program. And that is proven even further when the credits roll and it is revealed that this show was...
Wait, was he actually cheating 18 months later? No way. Oh, shit.
Devised by John Rowlands. It all makes sense. This is a show that only could have been devised, okay? It was not created. No more wedding planners, okay? We need wedding devisers.
I devised some plans for us tonight, bro.
We gotta use that word way more. Now, I thought this was gonna be the end of the video.
Oh,
it's not. Bianca and Adam's story does not end here. It turns out I was wrong. They did not go on to live happily ever after.
Oh, there we go. I guess you're right. I guess it was at the end of this.
I found an article about this couple that came out a little while after their episode aired, titled, "Don't Tell the Bride's Star Who Had Disastrous Wedding in a Sand-Filled Warehouse recalls how she uncovered her husband's affair while he was in a coma."
What? Maybe, I guess it might have been like a COVID coma. I mean, he sounds like one of those people that would have ended up in the hospital for that. Like, yeah, okay. Like, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't just tell her he was having an affair with how smart he seemed to be.
Now that's what I call turbulence. Let's read some of the article because holy shit, this is insane. Bianca was at the gym and Brock, their son, at the nursery when Adam called her from their home one day and said,
of course the name would be Brock. Of course it would be.
September 2017. He was slurring his words.
Oh, okay. Never mind. This was long before COVID. Holy shit. Wait, so this wedding was in like 2015? Oh, God.
Words not making sense, and he said he didn't feel right. I phoned for an ambulance, and the controller said it sounded like a stroke. By the time I got home, he was semi-conscious on the floor. The ambulance arrived just after me, and I followed it to the hospital. It later emerged that Adam, who had just taken part in a bodybuilding contest, was suffering from rhabdomyolysis.
That's a crazy
breakdown
word.
of muscle tissue that leads to the release of muscle fibers into the bloodstream. The rare condition, often occurring in endurance athletes, can be life-threatening. I called Mom on the way to the hospital to tell her what had happened, recalls Bianca, and as we were talking, my phone battery died. I had Adam's phone with me, so I switched to his. He never made a secret of his security codes, and it pinged as a message came through. It read, "What are you doing today, babe?" I thought, babe? That's a bit cozy. But I laughed and told myself it was probably completely innocent. Okay, first off, how the fuck did he even go into a coma? That doesn't make sense to me. How can one slip into a coma when there's already zero brain activity?
Yeah, there we go. I was like, where's the punchline here?
At the hospital, Adam was in intensive care, and I sat in the family room distraught.
Like, it's bad that he went into a coma, but holy fuck, this guy was an idiot.
Anxiously waiting for news. Then another text came through. Just 2 question marks. I thought, what the hell? And clicked on the profile photo of the sender, which showed 3 women. I thought, this isn't right. I had a little word with myself. Don't do anything. He's really poorly. But I couldn't help it. I turned detective to find out who had messaged my husband. Bianca, who had never suspected Adam was being unfaithful, scoured social media and uncovered the identity of the woman with whom he had evidently been having an affair. On a Rugby Mates WhatsApp group, he found that Adam had shared photos of his lover in her underwear, together with graphic details of their clandestine sex life with his friends. Yeah, now I don't feel so bad calling him dumb so many times. I think Adam was putting a little bit too much stock in that advice from his father.
If she loves you, she'll forgive you.
And if you're wondering what happened next, Adam woke up from his coma and completely recovered. And once he did, Bianca immediately left him. Crazy turn of events, dude.
No shit. I'm surprised. I'm surprised she didn't annul the wedding right off the bat. I'm so fucking surprised. I'm like, what kind of bullshit?
Not really shocking that the guy that didn't really think about his wife at all during the wedding planning continued to not think about his wife at all once they were married. So what did we learn? Guys are dumb as hell and probably shouldn't be in charge of large decisions.
And that's the whole sentence. I really didn't need to say anything after that.
Now, is that new information? Not at all. Is it important? Yes! All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did,
obviously that's going to be heavily dependent on the guy, but you know. In this case, abso-fucking-lutely. What a piece of shit.
Please press the like button, because 1 like equals 1 grain of sand I will bring into my office. And leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. I'm excited to see what you guys have to say about this one. And guys, subscribe. Subscribe right now. What are you doing? Almost at 5 million.
5 million subscribers, damn. 5.5? 6 million views. He's brought 7 million grains of sand into his office.